As trust in the dollar fades, investors and central banks will seek safer stores of value. Gold will regain its status as the ultimate hedge against instability, with central banks, especially in BRICS Plus, boosting their reserves. Silver, vital for both industry and investment, will surge in demand as green technologies and supply chain disruptions drive prices higher. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin will attract those seeking assets beyond government control, offering a digital alternative to gold. Yet crypto's volatility and regulatory risks will limit its appeal for some. Gold and silver, while stable, come with their own challenges: no yield and storage costs. Still, in a divided world, assets outside any single government's reach will be more attractive than ever. The search for safety will drive a historic shift into gold, silver, and digital assets. The US dollar's reign as the world's reserve currency faces its greatest threat. De-dollarization will accelerate as countries seek to avoid US sanctions and reduce their exposure to American power. BRICS Plus nations will settle more trade in their own currencies, and major energy exporters may start pricing oil outside the dollar. If this shift takes hold, global demand for the dollar will fall, raising borrowing costs for the US and weakening its economic influence. The transition won't be smooth. Dollar dominance is deeply entrenched, and a rapid shift could trigger financial turmoil. Still, the political will to build alternatives is growing. The failure of peace talks could be the catalyst that finally ends the era of unchallenged American financial supremacy. The world's economic balance would shift, with profound consequences for the US and beyond. The dollar's decline would mark a historic turning point. Two rival blocs mean a new economic iron curtain. Trade, investment, and technology will split along geopolitical lines, with the West restricting tech exports and BRICS Plus racing to innovate independently. Global supply chains will fracture, driving up costs and reversing decades of cheap, efficient globalization. Energy and commodities become weapons. BRICS Plus controls oil and minerals, while the West scrambles for alternatives and accelerates green energy. Financial systems will split. The West sticks with the dollar and SWIFT, while BRICS Plus builds its own payment networks and reserve currency. Sanctions and capital controls will become routine, making cross-block investment risky and complex. The result? Higher prices, more volatility, and a world where money no longer flows freely. Economic cooperation will give way to strategic rivalry. If peace fails, the world will split into two powerful blocs. The Western Alliance, US, EU, UK, Japan, South Korea, Australia, will double down on defending their system and values. Opposing them, Russia and the expanded BRICS Plus group, including China, India, Brazil, and new members like Saudi Arabia and Iran, united by a desire to curb US dominance. Many countries in Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia will be pressured to pick sides, turning neutrality into a high-stakes balancing act. Both blocs will compete fiercely for influence, using aid, trade, and security guarantees as leverage. Global institutions like the UN and WTO will be paralyzed, losing legitimacy as rules are ignored and power politics take over. The world will become more dangerous, with international cooperation replaced by raw competition. The guardrails of global order will be gone. The world holds its breath as the US tries to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine on August 18, 2025. This isn't just about ending a war, it's about shaping the future of global power. The outcome will decide if nations can cooperate or if the world fractures into rival camps. Failure would shatter the post-Cold War order and force the West to rethink its strategy, likely leading to a new era of confrontation. For Russia, rejecting peace would mean a decisive break from the West and a pivot toward building an alternative global order. The immediate result: escalation in Ukraine. The long-term risk: a formal split of the world into competing blocs. This is a future of rising tensions, military buildups, and constant risk of miscalculation. The failure of peace talks could ignite a new, perilous global contest for power.